Talk Shoe.
Recorded live.
Hey everybody, Davenport here with my co-host Glenn Sutphin on Alternative Public Radio International, coming to you live from TalkShoe.com tonight. Our old standby platform that we've been using for years and years and years, where we started out with a little 30-minute show 6 or 7 years ago in radio and built our way up and finally moved to Blog Talk Radio, as most of you already know. And then we got froggy and got our own station, and now we're waiting to get that station back up as soon as you all will send us some money. We need some money, Glenn.
Yeah, everybody needs money, but definitely send it to the station so we can get this thing operational again, man.
Yeah, man. Only asking for $150. My God.
Yeah. Everybody send $1. If we have 150 people send $1, covered.
I did get a lady to send us a gift card for some stuff for the homeless. She's sending that up, so that was really nice of her.
That's good. Her
and I became friends on Facebook, and it's interesting. Before you get started on what you wanted to talk about tonight, I was outside smoking a cigarette a while ago, and I just happened to glance down at the concrete, which is just right there with the flower bed next to it, and I noticed a couple of 3 or 4 ants crawling around down there, and I got to looking at them, and then I glanced over in the flower bed, and I see these ants moving these huge limbs, like 20 feet long. To us, they would be 20 feet long. These ants are moving these 20-foot long limbs around like they're nothing, and they're building like a little fortress around their little hole that they go into. And I've been watching this for the last couple of days. And then I get to looking, and I see these itty-bitty ants that are like, you could fit 5 of them on the head of a pin, following these big ants around. And I guess my question is, how could anything that could fit 5 on the head of a pin have a brain and a circulatory system with a heart and a neurological system and a sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system and have intelligence?
Because intelligence isn't limited to humans only. I mean...
Yeah, but you see my point, that, can you imagine, I mean, can you even comprehend how small we're talking about here, the head of a pin?
I can.
How in the hell does that work? I mean, think about how small the heart would have to be, and the lungs would have to be.
Well, they technically don't have lungs and heart as we do. They have a different system. That's why it only takes a little drop of water and they're dead. Because they absorb oxygen through their skin. They don't breathe. So there's no need for lungs.
Go get the door. Yeah.
So we're placing human physiology on something that's not human, trying to say, well, it's got to be. It has a different system, but I get what you're saying, because it does have
very strange. Very strange.
It does have a central nervous system, and
well, you're not an entomologist. I'm not an entomologist, and neither are you. But I would like to talk to an entomologist and see.
I have talked to a few.
All that works.
I have known. I used to collect bugs with my brother for his collections, and we had a guy that, when I was growing up, did entomology and stuff. So I'm not an entomologist, but I do know a lot about it.
And I thought about how quick I could just step on one and kill it, and it would never know hit it. Would never have any idea.
It has no clue that you're there until it comes upon you and then goes, hey, there's something in the way. And we're a lot like that in the universe too, because we're that little ant. The universe is the whole rest of the world, and we're going, wow, we know everything, and we only know a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit.
Yeah, of course, tiny little bit. You had
and
something.
We go, oh, we know everything, but we only see 0.005% of the whole thing. Visible light spectrum is only 0.005%. I mean, and we think we know everything.
Yeah, we don't. Of course we don't.
It's like, whoa, it's like, no, there's stuff that we don't know that we didn't know. I mean.
So tell me, what's so interesting about this Andrew J. Ostrowski character?
Ostrowski. Andrew J. Ostrowski. Okay. He was running for Congress. He was this big lawyer that's running for Congress, and I kind of supported him because his rhetoric sounded good at the time. And then I started finding out all about Andrew J. Ostrowski. And the face that he puts on is not the person behind the mask.
Okay.
The more you dig into him, he's been disbarred by from the Temple of Law. They don't want him anymore. They disbarred him. And the judges called him everything but a white man, which when a judge, the list, I mean, it's horrendous what this man has done. And they go, he's not competent to practice law, and he doesn't even, I don't think, know how to spell law. No, I mean, and he brings up frivolous lawsuits. He gets into causes like the HOA programs, all these HOA groups and stuff, and I'm a lawyer and I can help you and I can file cases. And I don't know what his track record is as a lawyer, but from what I've been reading, it's not good. Mm-hmm. And he uses it as a front to go, well, I'm a lawyer, which he is not. He's been disbarred for, I guess, 10 years now. And he's still going, I'm a lawyer. And he's in with all these other disbarred lawyers that they have like this group of Confederates. And then I ran into him because he came into the Hidden Valley condo group, and everybody was like, oh, he's a lawyer, he's a politician, he can help. And I drank the Kool-Aid for a while and rode the Andrew Ostrowski train and was like, yeah, okay, let's he seems to be doing good, let's see what he's going to do. Mm-hmm. And then he started turning the group against me because I was there almost a year, maybe a year and a half before him in the group, and working, doing articles about this place because this building needs to be condemned. I can't stress this enough. And the people that live in the building need to be compensated and for all their aggravation. There's slime coming down the walls. There's mold on the walls. There's sewage backing up into this advocate's condo, and they go, oh, we fixed it. And you go in there, and it's worse than Flint, Michigan. The water supply in there is worse than Flint, Michigan. It's like, God damn, you don't want nobody to live there. And they took it to court, and the courts were against them because several people on the HOA also know the lawyers, and one of them is like a judge, and they have the whole thing rigged. They buried the plats for this place. I can't find plats that you're supposed to have. Public information. I don't know who the owners of this condo are. Nobody knows. And you contact people and they go, oh. Anyway, getting back, Andrew Ostrowski was supposed to find all this stuff out for us. Yeah. And the advocates. So he kept telling people, send me everything. I'm a lawyer. Send me. By law, you have to send me everything, which circumvented all my information then. And then he took one of the advocates, John Sebastian, who passed away. The day that John Sebastian passed away, he started attacking the advocates on the radio, going and telling them, extorting money from them, everything. And it's like, this guy is really, really no good. And then he's pushing himself now as this great Christian. And it's like, oh my God. And people are falling for it. And I'm like, that's not who he is. I don't care what he says. Go look at the public record. All you got to do is go to the Pennsylvania Review Board, and oh my God, I listed what they had there just with under that one search term. I did other search terms, and there's hundreds more things about him. And it's like, oh, you don't want this guy. And he goes, I'd be great for Congress. And I'm like, unfortunately, yes, you would. You would fit right into that den of thieves perfectly. Yes, that's where you belong. You belong in Congress. But, you know, that's a kind of like an oxymoron. You know, it's, you know, yeah, well, you put a big thief in with a lot of other thieves, of course they're going to fit in. And that's all this guy does. And he destroys groups. He destroyed the two Hidden Valley groups. I finally convinced the advocates to shut them down because it was only leaking information like crazy, and half of the people in the groups were people that were reporting to him. And it's like, you can't get anything done when, there again, everybody's following Andrew J. Ostrowski. We got to follow Andrew J. Ostrowski and what he says. Well, if he was sent in to destroy the group and everybody's following him, what happens to that group? It goes down the tubes. And I finally convinced the advocates, shut the groups down, I'll take over and rebuild the web page myself. And, you know, I had a big fight with some of the advocates, and I kind of said, no, I'm going to do my own thing. You know, I'm not going to abide by some of our agreement, but I'll abide by the rest of the agreement. I won't use names. I won't use, you know, what I had said I'm not going to do, because, you know, you don't give up your sources. I'm professional. I don't do all that shit. Andrew Ostrowski puts everybody's name out there and says, well, this person's this and this person's that. He's not supposed to do that. He goes, well, I'm a lawyer. I can do what I want. He's threatened judges.
Yeah.
The judge that did the ruling against him, he's threatened him. Now, why is this man still allowed out in public? That's my big thing is I'm trying to, you know, I'm an advocate for Hidden Valley, but then it's like, oh, my God, I got to be against this guy because he threatens people. He extorts them. If John Sebastian were alive, I wouldn't worry about Andrew Ostrowski because I would have John Sebastian's testimony, which Andrew Ostrowski stole and I don't have. I was supposed to get a copy of it. John told me, hey, I'm going to give you a copy and give Andy a copy. Andy wound up with the originals because Andrew Ostrowski is a lawyer and he has to have those things. And he basically stole it from the guy, and then the guy passed away. So he's like, oh, finders keepers is mine. We were supposed to be doing a documentary together on this place. He released a couple videos. I didn't get a copy of the videos offline. I got one of them. I don't have the second one. I'm trying to get the second one because the second one proves a bunch of stuff, and it disappeared from the internet. And the person that shot the video, I can't find on Facebook anymore. Everybody that was attached to Andrew J. Ostrowski disappeared. They're no longer on the internet. And it's like, this is kind of strange. Kenneth High, who I mentioned in the article, who Andy quoted, you can't find him on Facebook anymore. And I have the deed that says that he owns Condo H, but then I go looking now, and it says this different person, somebody named Smith, has owned it. And it's like, that's not what I have. And the records are starting to change. And it's like, what the fuck is going on in Pennsylvania? It's not just this one thing, because you get one little thing, you go, I started looking. I've looked all over for the plat. It's people, you got to go here, and you go there, and they go, you got to go there, and you go to this other department, they go, you got to go there, and you go to this other department, and they go, well, you got to go back to the directory and start over again. And And it's like, but I went through everybody in the directory. What's going on? What's going on? Bureaucracy. Nobody's doing their damn job in Pennsylvania. The law system has failed in Pennsylvania. The water, the sewage, everything is a crap hole up there. And this building, Hidden Valley Condos, is basically Love Canal. I mean, they tore down 2 schools within, I would say, within 1,000 feet of this building. 2 schools have been demolished because they were 11 and 14th worst in the United States. It's like, oh my God. And there's rumors that they took some of the building supplies and built this building out of the contaminated stuff that they were using in the schools. And they go, oh, well, it's okay for you to live in it, but we can't send our children there. It's mind-boggling, and I've had people look into it around here, but I'm in Richmond and they're in Pennsylvania. There ain't nothing I can physically do. But if this building was in Virginia, it would have been shut down 18 years ago. If this building was in Maryland, it would have been shut down 18 years ago. This building's in Pennsylvania, hunky-dory, we can charge a mint for it. And the condo price is going up. It's like, how can it go up? And I went to Zillow, which is the real estate place. I don't know if you're familiar with Zillow or not. And I said, how do you get a building condemned? Well, you got to contact the owner of the building. It's like, I can't find the owner. Do you know who the owner is? Well, we don't take that information. I said, well, I'm reporting this place, as a concerned person. How do I go about reporting it? Well, you have to have it inspected. It's like, I have an engineer's report, 92 pages long, that says this building needs to be condemned. And then it leads to another thing. I contacted the engineers. They never contacted me back. Can't find. They changed their building, moved, and I'm tracking them down. It's like, how can an engineering firm they put out that it needs to be condemned. They have the power to condemn it. Why didn't they do their job? And you go to contact them, and nobody knows anything. No, don't worry about it. Oh, don't mention Hidden Valley Condos because it doesn't exist. And it's like, and it doesn't exist. If you type in the address of this place, you will get a swimming pool a quarter of a mile from the building as where that building is, because the engineers on the plat nested up. They put a side road in. They made a main road. They did a lot of engineering things that are no plats for, and that's fucking illegal as hell. And the Army Corps of Engineers came in and rerouted water, and basically water flows right through one of these units. I mean, it's like, did the Army Corps of Engineers do their job either? It's like, it's a whole clusterfuck up there, and it's like, I want to get up there to see the place, because in 18 years, nobody's taken video of this place. No, I've got photographs because nobody wants to go in it. You basically need a hazmat suit to go into the place. And we got people and little kids living in this. And it's like, come on, just on a human standpoint, that's ridiculous. And people are making money on this, hand over fist. And I got off the record reports of drug deals and everything else. They do maintenance on this building. They say they got permits and stuff, but you go to track the permits, they don't exist. Like, how can you have a building that doesn't exist? I come from a survey background. My father is a property line surveyor in Maryland. He's a big wig in Maryland. And I asked him to look into it. He goes, no, this is illegal as hell. I'm like, well, how do I get rid of it? And, well, you got to go to, and he gave me a list. And I said, yeah, I did all that. And, that's what I wanted, a lawyer in there. Somebody was running for Congress. Hey, this is a great thing, great platform to run on. He used it, took the charity money, lived off, the donations. This man's $100,000 in debt, according to the court, and he's
wow.
still allowed, according to the record that I posted on the last one. He is $100,000 in debt, and they know it, and they still allow him to practice law and charge for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it boggles the mind to think that this shit goes on in America, but there it is in black and white. There it is. I proved it, and everybody, oh well, don't worry about it.
I know paralegals that are practicing law.
Yeah, I mean, and to extort people on top of that.
If you've got a big enough line of bullshit, you can bullshit your way into court as a paralegal. You can bullshit your way into doing things for people, as a paralegal.
Well,
normally attorneys do.
He files frivolous lawsuits in the wrong court and gets them thrown out and goes, well, there, I did my job.
Yeah.
It has to be in court A. He goes to court C to file it, which he's either incompetent and, well, he's a drug addict. So, I mean, they said that in the record too, methamphetamine and pot, but I don't consider pot I don't consider pot use a drug thing, but methamphetamine, and some of the stuff he does, and that's just what they know about. What don't they know about? I mean,
mm-hmm.
I'm finding out the lady he's hanging around with, who's using a fake profile on FedBook, she's a crack whore. So, who knows? And they've been evicted from a place, stealing artwork, and I mean, it's like this man, and he uses, I'm an attorney, to get off of everything he does. Cops come up.
Why are you so obsessed with this guy? What's your angle on it?
My angle is I just got tired. He owes me all the fucking information and that I was supposed to have, and he's using this information, which was a couple of them are vital pieces of information, to harass and go after the advocates. And he has basically threatened this person and their family's lives, and I'm trying to stand up to him because nobody else will.
And how are you tied to these condominiums or whatever, housing project?
I was contacted on the internet, and then I got a hold of the advocates, and I've been dealing with the advocates ever since.
Well, have they looked at your Big Butt magazine and jugs and Slut
Yep.
Next Door?
Yep. Mhm. Yeah. Does that have anything to do with the illegal shit that's going on?
I can't believe you put that on your resume.
I don't care. I'm proud of it.
I just can't believe it. I can't believe it.
I mean, it used to be that somebody like me was a big, I turned down contracts in New York to leave New York before 9/11. I said, I got to get the hell out of this place because this place doesn't feel right, and there's something going to happen. And I thought at the time a nuclear bomb, and I bugged out a year, 2 years before 9/11 happened, turned down contracts, everything else. I was going big up there, and I said, no, not for me. I'm going down south, and I gave up everything and moved away. And it's like, and people, it's like, no, you didn't. It's like, yeah, I did. I gave up all that and moved to start over. And it's like, because I didn't want to be up there. And people, you were in the adult industry, ha, 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 ha. Does that have anything to do with what's illegal going on? Does that have anything to do with my integrity and my...
Well, yeah, it does. I mean, it does in real life, yes. Whenever you're talking to anyone about any particular certain kind of credible project, yes, it would have a great deal to do with your credibility. Yes. Normally, people that are in the adult industry, and I've known a few people in the adult industry, normally they stay in or around the adult industry, and they have a very close circle of friends that they that they hang with throughout their careers and even sometimes their lifetime. As you know, that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very, very difficult when you've been in the adult porn industry to go out into any real credible industry and show your resume and be expected to be taken seriously. You know that for a fact.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't make it right.
Well,
yeah, it doesn't make it right.
Doesn't have to be right. I didn't say it was right. I just said, I'm not saying there's.
I fight against this. That's what but I also don't hide the fact that I was in it, because then you hide the fact.
Because if they dig it up, then they're really
right, and then right, and people go, "Why do you do it?" I put it out there. If you read my blog, I put out there almost all my sins. Why? That way they don't have anything to come at me for. They go, "Well, you did porn." Oh, you already said you did porn. Okay, we'll get him on something else. Okay. You did drugs. Oh, you already said you did drugs. Okay, we'll get him on something else. But, they wind up, they have nothing against you, and you're free. You don't have to worry about all that shit. And I put it out there because I don't want to worry about it. I've been attacked for it repeatedly. The little fart that worked with me attacked me because of that. He's peddling porn. No, I wasn't. You didn't read the article. You went by one little icon like you always do and made that the emphasis of everything I've done. No, it doesn't matter that I bailed him out. I got him out of jail and I was barfing up blood when I did it. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. You did porn. It all comes down to you did porn. It's like, yeah, that gives me an insight onto what I'm fighting against, because I was in the industry fighting against it in the industry. I had a lot of friends in the industry, but that was 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. I'm now here. And it's like, okay, I started over. For 22 years, I've been press. But does that impress anybody? No. They go, oh, you did porn. And it all comes back to, well, you did this little thing in your life. It's like, do you smoke cigarettes? Do you do drugs? Have you gotten a DWI or DUI? Yeah, okay. Well, you're pointing your finger at me for doing something 20 years ago. It's like everybody has something that somebody goes, you did a bad thing.
I get the same kind of response for my criminal background, but I've let all my stuff out there on the air public, so I've aired every single thing. Well, you know me, my God, you know me.
Yeah, that's all I'm doing. I'm just airing. You have to go,
you have to tell me to shut up sometimes. I'm so open.
Yeah, me too. I just opened it up and said, fine. You want to know everything about me? I have no privacy. Here you go.
Yeah. And then
find out about it. Here you go.
Really pisses people off. Really pisses them off, because then they don't have anything to shoot at you. So they're just.
So then they make up ad hominems. They make up ad hominems about you and your personality, and and I can handle that. I got all the bad stuff out of the way. Once you get rid of all the all that stuff and you put it out there, they go, oh shit. I ask people to find shit about me so I can either cop to it or to say it's not true, because they might find something I didn't know about. I tried to put all of it out there, and people I wouldn't do that.
I just don't give a shit at my age what people think about me. I put all my stuff out there, and if they either like me or they don't, and that's it.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I'm not.
If you're going to judge me for what
people's ass, I'm not going to bend over and kiss people's ass to like me.
If they really want to know, the model that I was shooting in those magazines is my wife. So, yeah. Go on that. Totally changes their view. It fucks with their brain, and it gets conversations started.
Well, yeah, I'm sure it does.
Because they come and attack you, and then you say, "Hey, that's my wife," and they don't know where to go with it, and you go, "Okay, now that you offended me. Good. That means I made you think. That's what offended you. You had to use your fucking brain, and you didn't know it was an app. Because if we put app on the brain, more people might use it.
Yeah.
It's like, God damn, yeah, I did it 20 years ago. Yes, I was I've been published worldwide. I use that as part of my resume and my portfolio of what I've done. Look what I've done since then. You know? What have I done since then? I've done a lot of good since then, but you've done this one thing in your life. Yeah, well, I was fucking born human. Sorry.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. I could tell people, 10,000 things that I've done good, and they'll only pick out that one little thing that I did bad.
Well, you fart once in church, and nobody forgets it. Yeah.
That's just the way human nature runs, unfortunately. That's the way it works, and guys like us have to kind of climb around in that slime. We have to kind of deal with it one way or the other. I do know some perfect people out there. I do know some squeaky clean people out there, and it must be nice. And I mean, they are squeaky. They are squeaky. I've known them for years.
And they're boring too, probably.
Yeah, well, they are boring. They are boring.
They're boring. I mean, perfect people,
clean,
are boring. I'm sorry, I can't be around perfect people.
Yeah.
I can't be around the people that pretend to be perfect.
Yeah.
But I have met some that were, squeaky clean, and it's like you sit in their house and it's basically tick, 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 and that's just a clock. They exist. That's all they do is just exist. And they don't have no real life, and it's like those people to me are boring. I'd rather have the weirdos, the misfits, the outcasts. I'm an outcast among the outcasts, so I'm pretty cool with that.
I'm kind of somewhere in the middle.
I got kicked out of Anonymous. Go figure. You can't join Anonymous, but I got kicked out. Okay. So yeah, it was amazing. It's like, holy shit. I must be the only person on the planet that got kicked out of Anonymous that you can't join.
I'm still trying to figure you out myself. I mean, you're a very interesting person, and then now that I've looked at your resume, that's even more interesting.
Yeah.
Had this discussion about it.
It gets the conversation going, and when you start talking to me, you go, wow, this is an interesting person. I don't care if you agree or disagree with me. If you have an intellectual argument, I'm all for it. If you're just coming up with a bunch of shit, get out of my way. I don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have had people come up, I don't believe it, and they present an intellectual, thought-out argument, and I'm like, thank you so much. Most of them are now my readers. Most of them are now, now followers. I say my biggest readers are my enemies. Everybody that comes against me reads my stuff, and most of them attack me, start reading what I say, start asking questions, and start following me. So it's like I don't back down from a confrontation, because oftentimes I can confront somebody, and I'm very intellectual. I can hold my own in most arguments about most things, only because I'm well versed in the universe. I've been in the school of hard knocks for 50 years. So all my life I've gone through this, And then with my brain injury, you're faking it. It's like, And then I got that to deal with. I'm more concerned about people telling me I'm faking my injury than I am about what I did 20 years ago. 20 years ago, that isn't going to affect me. My brain injury affects me every minute of every day.
Yeah.
And you're faking it. And you go to the doctors, and I get the same thing. Do you know it's illegal to have high blood pressure? It's illegal to have high blood pressure. That's what the doctor told me. I said, show me this. Show me it. Show me where it says it's illegal to have high blood pressure.
Well, it's not illegal.
Well, you have to be you have to be on medication. I said, well, that's totally damn different than being illegal. Pushing your pharmaceuticals is one thing. Telling me it's against the law, produce the law. God made me this way. I'll have to call God into court.
Is this your real address, 5208
Yeah.
Stratton Road?
Yeah.
You're insane?
Yeah.
You're insane enough to put your real address on here? I've had
Yeah.
so many death threats over the last
I've had death threats too. I mean, I've had people come up.
15 years.
I've had death threats, and then one of them made good on the threat and killed my best friend in my front yard. Yeah. Am I insane? This planet made me that way. Yes. I mean, when my son had to witness his best friend being murdered in the front yard, yeah, I don't fucking care about people because I can defend myself, and if you're coming for me, come on. But prepare to have a fight.
Yeah.
I ain't going down like those little. I'm not going down like the little fart over there that has a gun on him and gets beat up. You know, if I have a weapon on me, you're not going to touch me.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a pacifist. I carry a weapon. You're a hypocrite. That's all you are. You're a hypocrite. You walk around going, I got a gun, and I'm a pacifist. I believe in peace. And all you do is agitate people.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're a police wind-up agitator at that point.
No, if you're gonna wear a weapon, if you're gonna wear a piece, you need to be prepared to definitely use it. I mean, that's just not something you want to wear around.
I never draw the thing. I never pull it out. He doesn't know how to load it.
Yeah, well, that's okay if you never pull it out, but you have to psychologically and physically be willing and ready to use it. And
he ain't.
Most people aren't.
He's one of them. He keeps. Well, that was a well, I don't even know the word I'm looking for right there.
Contingency.
That was a contingency. Yeah. That was a sticking point that we had because he kept going, we're the Virginia militia. We're armed. And I'm like, no, I am not. I am not allowed to carry mine according to the police. I had a concealed carry permit. They told me they would shoot me dead if I had my weapon. He goes, no, you're armed. I'm like, no, I am not. Quit saying I am because I don't want to be a bullet catcher for you. Plus, if I need a weapon, you've got one. I can take yours because you don't know how to use it.
Right.
You know, I'm not worried about having a weapon. You have one. You don't know how to use it. Therefore, it's my weapon if I need it because you're only 100 pounds. I'm 220, you know.
Yeah.
Ergo, I got 120 more pounds on you.
Yeah,
I will have a weapon. Yeah.
I'm 235.
I will have
6'4". Yeah.
And then these asshats that are marching around town with their weapons on their back with no ammo.
Well, I'm sure some of them have ammo.
No, the ones that I know don't carry ammo because cops told them they can't carry ammo, so they walk around with the gun on their back.
Oh, that's
with no
stupid.
ammo.
That's
and I said,
stupid.
that is so. I
like
said, you're
Barney
an asshat
5.
then.
It's like Barney 5.
I said, and then they go to people. Oh, don't worry, we'll protect you. What are you going to do? Swing the fucking thing like a club? That's about the only thing you're going to do with it. Meanwhile, I had mine, one in the chamber. Bang, you're dead.
Yeah.
And I have your weapon. You're a stupid fuck. You know, it's the people that live through the fight, not the people that bring the fanciest weapon to the fight that win. It's the person that walks away at the end. That's why I don't understand these suicide bombers that go, oh, we're going to do something good. Boom! What'd you do? You took out a few people. Yay! Now what? You're dead.
Yeah.
End of story. Your revolution ended. All these revolutions that I hear, we're revolutionaries. We're going to bang, you're dead. How long did your revolution live? You know, I'm still here going, nah, it was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather continue the information war that I started in '87 and keep this shit going out there. And damn my past. If people are going to bitch at me for my past, I'm going to go find something out about you about your past and come after you.
Well, they're bitching about my dead body thing and my EMT paramedic.
I find it
ACLS.
Fascinating.
They're
I find it fascinating.
Down
I mean,
pretty hard.
I personally probably couldn't stomach as much as you did, but I've seen my share of dead bodies, and it's fascinating. 1 minute they got life in them, next minute there's nothing.
Yeah, I've been around so much death that it's just unbearable, unbelievable. I mean, I've been up to my ass in blood most of my life since I was 14. So yeah, I've been through the mill, So
well, my father was an EMT. I learned about sex through an EMT manual. So honestly, he threw me an EMT manual one day when I was like, I don't know, 6 or 7, and it was like, holy shit. And, ever since then.
Yeah. Learned about the anatomical structure of the female.
Yep. And the male, and how things work, and when they don't work. And I mean, I helped my wife go through for her CMA. Of course, that's another story that didn't end up well. We got $10,000 in debt and a piece of paper that is worthless. So
yeah.
And the school was a sham.
I was a CNA. I was a CNA before I was anything at all, and
medical assistant, not nursing assistant.
But I was a CNA before I was anything else, and it was fairly easy back then. And I thought I should have opened a school because I was right there at the heyday of schools. I mean, right there at the heyday when they were just starting, and I could have cleaned up, man. With 5 schools, I could have been retired now, but I didn't, and I'm pissed off.
Should have, could have, didn't. Yeah, that's me. I should have, could have, I didn't. On several things, and
Yeah.
One of them was taking the contracts in New York, and who knows where I've been. Another one is I would have gotten in the car accident or a heat stroke, and where would I be now? I don't know. I'm here now, and I'm dealing with the here and now. I can't deal with the past because it already happened, and I can't step in that puddle again. But I can change what happens in the future. So that's where I'm at now. I'm changing the future.
Well, when we get these SEOs, you'll be stepping up from your platform anyway.
Yeah.
Get these SEOs done. Get them in the bag. I was kind of worried about the SEOs. I think I'm going to wait until May when we get the station back up to do the SEOs, because I hate to bring people to the website now without being up.
I'd wait until it goes live and then have them done then. That way you can boost them up at the get-go.
Yeah.
Instead of bringing people in now and then it teeters off.
Pissing them off, having to search for us on TalkShoe and this and that and the other.
Yeah. I would wait. I mean, personally, if it was my personal opinion, I would wait until you go live to do that.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to wait till May.
Because that way you can bring them in at the beginning, go live and bring them in instead of bring them in and then go live.
Our first night back, man, I'm going to be speechless. I'm going to be speechless. God, unbelievable, man. We're in 26 countries over there.
Craziness.
And it's all been good. Sam has been good to us, Sam Board. We use Sam, broadcaster. And you ought to look Sam up just for the hell of it tonight when you get off air. Sam Broadcaster, SAM Broadcaster. We use Sam, and we're real pleased with it. With a coupon, you can get it for $350 with a coupon.
That's $360 more than I have.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then you got to pay, then you got to pay your fees for the cloud and pay your fees for Mixcloud. So we do have station expenses, and that's what people need to understand is we have station expenses, but people don't really give a damn about station expenses.
They expect it to be there for free when they want it, and okay, that's why I do everything for free. And I do what I can for no money. That way I can keep doing it.
Yeah.
And people go, what's your why? My blog has been around for 12 years now. 9 on one platform and 4 on the other. So yeah. It's like,
you've got
yeah,
like 9,000. You've got like 9,000 hits on that one blog.
yeah. So it's
9,200 hits. I'm looking at the one that's red, really red on the right.
yeah, it's my main blog. It should be more than that. Hold on, I can give you the. Let me pull it up here. But yeah, I mean, I've been working on it for, this one for 9 years, and I had quite a big following on Yahoo 360 before they tanked. And okay, total hits since the time I've been up. Okay. Yeah, 2009 hits right this year alone.
Yeah, okay. One spot said 9,000 something. I don't know what it was I was looking at. Maybe it was followers or something. I don't know.
I don't know. They do all kinds of weird. I'll be on my machine and walk over to my wife's machine, and it's different numbers for the same page. So
yeah, mine's the same way. Mine's the same way. I don't know why.
I don't pay any attention to that. I probably got about
my blog now is popular. I don't even get over to my blog very much anymore. I had like 12,000 hits over there, and I don't even get over there anymore much. I need to go back and start blogging again.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm in, let's see, all time. How many countries have I hit? I've got covered most of the world already.
Have you
so
Googled me?
Yeah, I was doing a little bit of that last night.
You saw how much we've done and all the different stuff we've done. Music, poetry, articles, journalism.
Oh yeah, that's what I want. That's what I'm trying to do. Is like I try to do the gamut of things, and
I haven't even Googled you. I haven't even Googled you.
My son did for a project at school one time, and the social justice warriors that were teaching him didn't like it because some of them knew me. It was kind of funny talking to most of those.
How do you spell your last
people.
name?
S-U-T as in Tom, P as in Paul, H-I-N.
I take up about 15 pages on Google. Here you are. Here you are. Here's your mug. Here's your mug shot.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not hard to find. Yeah.
Yeah, you take up, let's see, where do you go? Yeah, you're on the third, you start dropping off on the third page, yeah.
Yeah, it used to be when I was a while there, it was like 10 pages, and then they started delisting me.
I'm mandatory reading in some high schools around the United States.
Well, when my son was in school, most of his class were my readers. Everybody found out that I had a blog.
Well, I'm actually on the curriculum for reading.
That's cool. That's cool. I'd like to be that too. But
I was amazed.
And City Hall knows all about me because I flooded City Hall with a printed out copy of my blog of what's going on to get awareness going, and
in one
several of them blocked me.
In one school, I'm listed just under Shakespeare.
Ooh.
I was impressed when my producer showed it to me. I was like, wow, that's pretty wild. You never know what Google's doing to you out there. I mean, I'm in places where I don't even know how the hell I got there. I'm in magazines that I don't even know how I got there. I'm in places where I have no idea how they picked me up.
Yeah, I don't go. Every once in a while, I'll try to go searching for myself, but I don't really care because, it seems like everybody knows me, but I'm a nobody, so it's cool. And I'm like, that's all right. You want to know who I am? Google me or come to my website. Anything else is bullshit.
Yeah.
What I say, I put out there, and I'll put it, and you show it to me, and I'll say if I said it or not. If you can showed it. It's from my blog. I'll stand on it. Yes, I said it. Yeah. If it's from somewhere else and it was made up, you better prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. So.
I noticed you write most of your stuff on your blog.
Yes.
Yeah, me too. My article.
I only trust my writing. I mean, I know what I want to say, and I've given it to, told people here. I've had people take my stuff. Well, let me edit it for you. And then they put it out as their own, or they edit it to hell, and it's not what I meant.
I don't let anybody edit.
And it's like I finally said, fuck it. You're going to get it raw from my hand to my blog. And if you can't handle that, too bad, because I'm going to go on the radio, and I'm going to go on video and say the same damn thing. So, it doesn't matter. It's going to come out of my mouth, out of my hand, or be out there by me. And if it's out there by me, I stand on it. If it's out there by somebody saying, like the little fart that used to work for me, commenting, he said this and he said that, produce where I said it. And if you're talking about a private phone conversation and neither of us have any recordings of that I know of, I don't. But if you do, produce them. If not, shut the fuck up, because what you said I said isn't always what I said. And sometimes isn't even anything I said. So, but that he said that you said it. It's like, yeah, well, he said a lot of things. He said that people were attacking me and he was taking the upper road and have to come after me. There was only 2 people that attacked me. One of them was him, and one of them was his boss's wife, or what he called his boss's wife. The other 3 people he named, I hadn't heard anything about. I don't know who they are. I heard him talking about them. It was like, oh, okay, whatever. You're doing that. That's your thing. Go for it. And then he goes, well, they claim that you did this and they claim that you did that, and I had to take care of it. They never came to me. They never attacked me. I never received anything from those people. All I received is you attacking me, and you're supposed to be my friend. Yeah. What kind of friend is that, where I barfing up blood, vomiting up blood, I get out of my bed and come to dig you out of the jail for 3 days, and I tracked you down and shit to get you out, and then immediately you turn on me for something that wasn't even anything, and you call yourself a friend and a man, and you have honor? No, you don't have any. You can't be called a man. Men don't do that. And you're not one, and we the people haven't voted. And if you voted, and then all of a sudden you found out it was a fraud, then you become we the people? I mean, give me a break. And then, I've been in the militia since 82. You come along in 2012 and say you're the commander of the militia, and I have to obey orders? It's like, give me a fucking break, man. You can't command a shit out of your own ass. I mean, god damn. Yeah. And then you claim you're military and you don't know what a DD-214 is?
I noticed
that's stolen valor.
I noticed you've still got Renegade. I'm looking at Renegade here.
Yeah. I thank them for having me on the platform and giving me my free speech. Up until, I thank everybody that has me on their program, even if they're against me, as common courtesy. I was on it. Yes, I was on it. I was drug on it. I went on air against my will, but since I was supposedly a guest, and then all of a sudden I started doing more and more and more, and it was like, no. And then when I said, no, that's it, they attacked. When I started going against their narrative and questioning the narrative and talking about China, well, that started it all. And then, oh, he listens to Alex Jones. My best man at my wedding that I used to wrestle with told me to commit suicide because I listened to Alex Jones.
Well, I've had my share of run-ins with different radio networks that I was on, and they didn't agree with my stance on this, that, or the other. And I've had The last one I was with was Revolution Radio. You familiar with them?
I think I've heard of them.
Yeah, I was with Revolution, and they cut me off for talking about Muslims and the invasion back when this was all just beginning, just starting, right on the cusp. They cut me off for being a racist, and now they're kissing my ass, going, "Oh my God, you were right."
Yeah, and then you go, "No, never mind."
Right? I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah, never mind. Yeah, I'm not going back to you. Fuck you. I mean, that's the way I am. I'm not going back to Renegade. I know what it is. Kyle Hunt, it might be a CIA sheep dip. I mean, it was a honeypot that my ex-co-host was going on. It was a honeypot, and like I said, we're going to go up and march around the Pentagon with weapons drawn. And no, I'm not. I'm not no part of that.
No,
I don't want to be a bullet catcher for your dumb ass.
No,
because that's what it is. He'll start shit and then run away and leave people there to take the rap and then come back and go, "Look at all I did." Yeah, what did you do? What exactly have you done? I know what you did to my reputation, yes, and but I let it happen. I knew from the beginning what he was going to do. I knew 5 years ago what he was going to do to me. I mean, he wasn't fooling me, And I have correspondence from before it happened saying what I was going to do, and I saw it coming to a head. My son even knew about that. That's why he put out there the article he put out and the videos he put out against the thing, because I had 101 fever and a 300/200 blood pressure. There was no way I was on this fucking planet. I'm talking to blue and purple midgets. I mean, literally, and I'm trying to type and do all this stuff. Ha, 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 ha. He's so stupid. It's like, no, after I came to my senses, read the next article,
Right.
Yeah, I did say some stuff, and it wasn't a threat. I want his head. When the war starts, I'm having his head. That's it.
I bet Renegade doesn't have their SEOs done.
No. Well, I don't know, because they're pushing a documentary that they did.
They're pushing $50 donation.
Yeah, and they're pushing
US
money and
$75 international to receive.
And if you look
DVDs.
at this, yeah, and probably one of them is Hellstorm, the one that they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's probably 3 DVDs that they've done, and they kissed his ass, and he's still kissing their ass because he's still pushing them. Even though he goes, they're CIA, they're from what I read on the internet, the one lady's mother is Jewish and she's anti-Jewish. Yeah, that figures. Anti-Jew.
The crawlers won't pick this website up anyway. It's too much bling bling going on.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not a.
Well, the minute you go on there, there's a big burning black sun emblem. I mean, it's like, holy shit, if you don't know what the fuck that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. God damn, I saw immediately when he comes to me and he goes, "We got this radio station." I'm like, "Oh, cool, good, okay, cool. We need radio, good. Let's get it. How many? Where is it?" He goes, "Well, it's Renegade." And I pulled it up, and I went, "No, I don't want to be on it."
Yeah.
"Oh, don't be that way. You don't know anything about it." I said, "I don't want to be on it." I didn't give him any reason. I just said, "No, you go ahead. If you want to be on it, go ahead." And well, you're going to be a guest. Okay, I'll be a guest once in a while. And then it became, oh, you got to be on there almost every night, and you got to do videos, and you got to do this, and you got to do that, and it's like, oh, you talked about China, forget it. It's like, really? China is at Davos pushing for world, domination. They're pushing for a cashless society. They're pushing the globalist agenda. Why can't we talk about them? Because Russia's the threat.
No.
Russia can't even fucking pay their GDP this year.
No,
I mean,
USSR,
come on.
USSR is no threat to anything except maybe Syria.
They can't even keep their country intact right now. I know this. Yeah, I know this. And I said, no, it's China. Don't tell me. The Bolsheviks went into Russia. Yeah, and at the same time, they went into imperialist China and made it Chinese communist.
Their scientists may be lucky to get 300 rubles a month.
Yeah, It's like Putin isn't a threat. And if, I hear what Putin's pushing, I'm starting to go, well, maybe I should be Russian. I like what Putin has said.
A lot of people are wanting to be. A lot of people are thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, and if Russia influenced the election and gave us all this good shit, well, then I'm Russian.
More power to them.
Yeah, then I'll be Russian then, because it seems like a pretty good thing. I'm not communist. I'm definitely not socialist or communist.
No.
Don't misquote me, anybody, because I'm not socialist. I'm not communist. I'm not Russian. I'm Caucasian only by name because I wasn't born in the Caucasus Mountains. So
I've read a lot of Marx. It's like reading Nietzsche. It's hard to read Marx when you get into his capitalism.
Well,
I'm okay until we get to capitalism, and then I'm lost.
Yeah, I've heard of Marxists, Leninists, Maoists, Stalinists.
I've got Marx books. I enjoy reading Marx. Everybody enjoys reading Marx until he talks about the dollar, and then it gets really boring for hours.
Yeah, it's I don't really prescribe to failed ideologies, but
Well, then you surely
I read
don't
them.
subscribe to the United States of America Incorporated, then, do you?
No, I'm totally against the United States of America LLC.
Yeah, we're definitely.
I'm against the North American Union. I'm against the North American Union that we are now, and thankfully Trump took out the TPP, which stopped most of that, and he said he's going after NAFTA. Go for it. Get us out of this North American treaty. The NAFTA we do have to ratify because it was ratified, but the TPP didn't get in. It's dead, and he's doing away with the waters of the United States. Then let the people out of jail that are in jail for that stupid man in jail for a pond on his own fucking property. Let him go.
Yeah. Oh, we've got several people that are in jail here in the Northwest for
let them go.
Selling milk, for having water, for capturing water in barrels.
Yeah, that's bullshit. And if you repealed the Waters of the United States Treaty, you should also repeal all their penalties and stuff too. I mean, that just goes to common sense. I mean, just like if they decriminalize marijuana, they got to let everybody out that was only in jail for possession. That's only fair. It's and maybe compensation in some cases. So you know what? We're overruled. We have become the land of rules and rule enforcers instead of being free anymore. And people argue, well, you're never free because of your birth certificate and blah, blah, blah. I'm free because I say I'm free.
Well, yeah, that's it. It's not about, even though it is, it's not really about the birth certificate and the driver's license and the Social Security card.
Yes, I have to have some fiat currency to exist in this society as it is.
Well, sure. We're not set up as a tribe. We're not set up as a tribe. The minute it
fucking falls down, you all are going to be coming to me to learn how to live.
Yeah.
Because I can go out in the woods and live on my own.
Yeah, sure.
I know how to do that. I still remember being wild. I've not been domesticated all that much. Some things I have, because some things are like, oh my God, I was thinking about the other day and I'm like, man, I've been so domesticated by this lifestyle. And we have. We get attached to things and we go, oh, if I only had the next thing. And like today, I'm like, oh, if I only had the money to get an external hard drive and video camera. And then we get that. And then, oh, if I only had the money, it's human. It's human nature. But I'm also going, if I get the stuff I need, I can do what I want and get out there for it. And that's where I'm pushing for, is get out there get bigger, and damn the world. And I don't care what they say about my past. And if you really want to get get on board, find out shit from the early 60s the late 60s, 70s, and 80s on me, please, because I don't remember any of that. The car accident took out most of my young life. I don't remember most of my life at the beginning. Yeah. I only remember from when I was in the Army till now. So,
yeah.
Thankful in a way, but not thankful in a way, because my mom will talk to me and say something. Do you remember this person? No. And it might have been somebody that I've seen, back then every day. It's like, no. I don't remember him. I don't have any recollection of who you're talking about. I can't help you. They're a stranger to me. They might know me, and people know me by a different name, by my middle name. And if they know me by my middle name, that was before the Army, and I don't really want to talk to some of them people because I don't remember. It's like, and then then when I moved to Virginia, it's like I remember most of what's here now. Since the Army, I remember most of it.
Well, that's good that you do have a memory.
Yeah. I'm lucky. I was almost in a halo. I was real. They were like debating, do we put him in a halo? And I'm like, I don't want to be in a halo.
Yeah.
So they put me in a tracheotomy hard collar neck brace for 8 months, and then I was in a soft collar for 8 months. And going through therapy and everything, and I shattered my face, and they go, oh, well, there's nothing wrong with you, until you take an X-ray and see my whole face has been broken, you know, and shattered, and it's like, yeah, let me hit you with a sledgehammer going 60 miles an hour in your face and see if you walk away going, oh, it was okay, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And I've gone through 2 windshields and 2 dashboards. So, it's like massive trauma in my face.
Man. You're lucky to be alive. Very lucky.
Yeah. I was supposed to die at 22 during the car accident. The doctor said, well, I should put you in a body cast and keep you in it for another 22 years. It's like, yeah. I had just gotten out of it a couple years ago. So it's been about 28 years since the accident. So yeah. And
Are you renting or buying your place?
Yes. It's one of them deals. The mother-in-law bought the house, is buying the house. I'm paying the mortgage on it, but it's rent because I'm renting from her.
Well, that's good.
So there's kind of a
That's
kind
cool.
of like, yeah, it's like that. Well, not really. It sounds good. Her name is Woman Hitler.
Oh boy.
Because if you take mother-in-law and you rearrange all the letters, you get Woman Hitler.
Yeah.
So, and she used to work for the IRS, and she's a globalist. So yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So it's a fun mix. I've known her for 30 years.
I bet she thinks you're a little crazy, huh?
I married a daughter.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
That's the only reason I had talked to her.
Probably the only reason she talks to you.
Yeah, because otherwise I wouldn't know her. She would have been somebody I used to know.
Yeah.
But the stupid little thing, I'm in love with the daughter, so.
Well, that's good. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 7:04. It is April 4th, 2017. If you're listening to this after the 4th, it is a rebroadcast, and it will eventually be on the Superstation. I don't know what my producers are doing. It may go over there even now. We shall see. I'm on with my co-host, Glenn Sutphin, and I am Kiler Davenport. And you all need to go over there and hit that Northwest Mental Health Connection. I don't know what it is about people. They gripe and gripe and gripe about mental health, and then when we give them an opportunity to go and educate themselves about peer support and psychiatry and big pharma. They just throw it down the drain and they don't go over there. And then we have the Prayer Science International, which people are not really hitting that hard. And it all has to do with SEOs. I know it does. It all has to do with being able to take that big key and open that big gate up and be able to open yourself up to the world. I mean, we could all be famous if we could just take that big key and open that gate. We could all be famous or semi-famous. I mean, just think of the people that would fall in love with Kiler Davenport out there. I mean, if they fall in love with Howard Stern, think of what they would do with me. You know, I've got millions of fans waiting for me. But I haven't opened that Google gate yet, so we will in May, as we were talking about a while ago. We will get that gate fully open, damn it, one way or the other, and then we will start having to worry about broadband and T-trunks and all of that kind of stuff. But, you know, I'm glad when you start worrying about T-trunks and those types of things, you're doing good. You're progressing.
Yeah.
You're making money. So that's a good thing.
That's how you judge if you got to gauge yourself. If I'm worrying about this is good. If I'm worrying about this is
right.
As long as it's forward that you're going, not backwards.
Right. Exactly.
So,
exactly.
yeah. And another thing.
Go ahead.
Another thing about the pages, I found out FedBook has been hiding the pages. I mean, the Top Gun one disappeared completely. I couldn't find it. And then when you posted the show tonight, it's like, oh, there it is. Bookmark that thing so that FedBook won't hide it again. Maybe because they delete the bookmarks too. So
they're hiding all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. So a lot of this stuff could be, not saying all of it, but some of it could be FedBook hiding it. They delist it because a lot of my stuff gets delisted, and then more people keep coming to it, and they got to put it back up, and then they delist it again. And
well, I'm up to 6,022 views today, so on my Facebook page. So that's not too bad.
I don't even know what mine are because they mess with them so much. And like I said, what they say on FedBook itself and what they mail me are three different things. So
yeah.
It's like I don't know if you go how big. I don't care how big I am. I'm just doing what I'm doing and getting out there and doing what I'm doing. I'm worried about doing what I'm doing, not about how much I'm doing and how many people. Now, if nobody's listening, then I start worrying or I shut the hell up.
Well, I do worry. I do worry about how many people, and I'm going to continue to worry. That's why I'm getting the SEOs done. If I'm going to sit here at my age when I could just retire and just get off this thing and quit and sit on the porch, I want to see at least 25,000 people knocking my door down every show or more,
I'm not there yet.
That way you can get stuff done, I mean.
Oh, I'm all for getting stuff done and getting bigger. I don't worry about the numbers. I watch them, and when they go down, I start doing more and bring them back up. But I found out that if I just keep doing what I'm doing, the numbers are going to fluctuate anyway because they drive me down and it goes back up. And they
mine do too. Mine go up and down,
and
up and down,
back
up and down,
up.
up and down.
Yeah. So I don't worry too much. Now, if they go down and stay down, then I start worrying.
Yeah.
But when they go down and go up, as long as they keep going back up, I'm not worried.
Yeah, mine have been going back up. And, they'll drop down, and then they'll go back up, drop down, go back up. So I'm okay with that. I've gotten used to that. I'm not okay with it. But
I'm not okay with it either. Mine should be a lot higher, but, I said, they've conditioned me to go, well, as long as I can keep them going up when they go down, I'm doing good. If they go down and stay down, and that's all it is conditioning.
Yeah.
They condition you, they give you, and then they start taking away. because Fedbook started glitching the other day, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And then I'll notice all this new stuff on there, and I'm like, oh, they're redoing their algorithm and adding shit. That's why it's glitching.
Well, they have. They've added a lot lately, and some of
they didn't say anything about it. They just pop it up. Yeah. They just pop it up there, and it's like, what the fuck?
When you wake up, you find it when you wake up.
Yeah. You go to bed, you wake up, it's totally different page. Is this your page? I don't recognize it.
Right. Like
and then you get used to it, and then, they change it again.
Today they wouldn't let me hit likes on your page for your people who were liking your stuff.
Yep, they do that.
They would let me hit your post and like your post, but they wouldn't let me like who liked your post like.
Right. Yeah, they got all kinds of ways they could do shit to me and stuff. That's why I know. It's like, how do you know all this stuff? Well, I've witnessed it. I've researched it. I read their manuals. I look through their white pages. How do I know all this shit? I read their shit I go to their press thing and read their press box sometimes. It's like, that's how I know all this shit. So
people haven't read the contract on Facebook. If they would just take the time, I always ask them to go over there and take a gander at the Facebook contract and be amazed and glazed and dazed and at what they've done and what they're able to do to you. And Google, Google has a contract. If you read Google, if you've got
Google owns YouTube, and
it's all nobody ever reads it. Nobody ever.
I read it once, and it's like, if you really read through it, you won't be on it.
That's true. That's true.
Because if you really read through their contracts, you wouldn't be on their platforms, because nobody would be on their platforms.
No, it's not a social contract. It's not a social network at all. It's a very dangerous platform.
Yeah, I mean, and if you read any of the contracts, you wouldn't be on any of them. So
I'm sitting on the porch rocking. Just sitting on the porch rocking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm getting to that age, 60 years old, and been around the world a couple of times, and I'm ready to just kick back. But
I've done that.
Dragging me back here. Something keeps dragging me back here.
Like I said before, there's a big break in my blog between 2009 and 2011-ish, because I just took off and said, fuck it, I'm not doing anything, and then when I came back in 2012, the end of 2011, 2012, I started shooting out of like a rocket, and been going ever since. But I take the time sometimes, a year or so, and just say, screw it. Because you got to. I get burnt out, And I was starting to get burnt out, and then caught up with you, and it's like, hey, another breath of life. Cool.
Yeah, it's been another breath of life. We've got May to look forward to, which is a big deal. And
so I'm pushing for May, and my son's been doing his podcasts on Twitter and getting that platform stabilized, so I can start using that platform to do my stuff. So
yeah.
I mean, not on Twitter per se, but using the platform he's using to produce my show, and that's coming up. I'm going to try to coincide it with the station going on.
Yeah. I'm on Tuesday night, Thursday night, Sunday night, and I have Wednesday night open. I lost Tom. Tom is not coming back. He's very sick, very, very sick.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear he's not coming back, and definitely sorry to hear he's sick.
Yeah, he is very, very sick. It'll be a miracle if he comes back. It'll be a miracle. I don't think he's coming back, though. We love Tom Uvert. I'll tell you, he is one hell of a good guy. He is paralyzed in a wheelchair, And he does so much. You know, he ran for president of the United States.
No, I didn't know that.
And he has HIV. He's HIV positive. And he ran for president of the United States. Yeah, I'll send you over some of his blogs. He's a brilliant writer, brilliant writer. He's worked in several state houses for very prominent people in Washington. Very smart, and I hated to lose him on Tom's Take for Wednesday nights. So I've got a Wednesday night slot open if you want it, Glenn. Just let me know.
Tempting. Let me think about it.
Yeah, you do that, because I'm going to fill that slot. I'm going to fill that slot up with something here pretty quick. I just kind of crossed my mind tonight. People were used to that slot coming on, you know, with Tom.
Pencil me in as a yes.
Yeah.
Just pencil me in, because I'll give you a hard answer later.
Yeah, you could do an hour over there standing on your head, probably.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be here on TalkShoe, same thing, and then when we open the big station up, they'll all go to the big station anyway, so that'll be a big hoorah for all the shows you and I have done on TalkShoe. We'll all hit the main stage in May, so that's going to be cool.
Yeah, and like I've got, I have to edit some of the ones because I don't want to push my ex co-host, but I mean the stuff we did up until a point was solid, and then then it all went downhill. And I stand behind what I did at the beginning with him, because he's on target. He's a brilliant strategist as far as the economy and stuff.
Yeah.
But he is a asshole, and he ruined his reputation as far as I'm concerned, because now he's just a big blowhard, and it's, hey, let's see who we can yell at this week, and you get nothing done.
Well, my style, I don't yell at people.
Well, he does, and he gets in their face, and I warned him, don't get in my face with your camera, because if you come within arm's reach, I'm going to consider you assaulting me after what you told me in private. So, and I will go as far as to go with the enemy, the police, and have them arrest you. Yes, I will. I don't care, because I'm against the police state. I am not against police.
Right, I am too.
I'm not against the intelligence community. I have friends. I have informants. I'm not against the intelligence community.
Oh, no,
I'm against the agenda that is being pushed by one of the cabals, and they have taken over. But people got to understand it, because they go, all Americans are this way. No, the United States government, shadow government, is that way. The United States people do not agree with, but we haven't figured our asses out to get in line to throw them the fuck out yet. So
we have a wonderful intelligence community overall. People need to know that. We have a wonderful intelligence.
People, I'm against the FBI. I'm not against the FBI. I'm against the rogue elements in the FBI that are doing the stupid shit.
Rogue elements in every law enforcement agency in the world. There's rogue elements. That's just the way it is.
And I'm against all of that. And it just happens to be those that are in charge.
How would you like to have MS-13 knocking on your fucking door every night? I don't think so. We need law enforcement.
I almost do. I mean, they're all around here. I know a couple of the members of some of the tribes.
Well, I know some of the Hells Angels and some of the Scorpions, and I used to run with them, and I like a lot of those guys.
I mean, pagans and outlaws and warlords. Same over here.
They're not like
I used to hang out at Biker.
They're not like they used to be back when the Hells Angels were really the Hells Angels. I don't know what the fuck they are now. They're more of a kind of a social club that smoke dope and drink a lot of.
They're a Facebook club. Yeah.
I mean, the Hell's Angels used to be something special back in the '60s and '70s.
Oh yeah, I used to hang out with quite a few of them in the later '80s.
They had a totally
prominent
different
member
code back then. They had a totally different code back then.
Yeah, I was a prominent member at most of the bars that they hung out in. So yeah.
Well, if you ever get hung up with the Scorpions and need a way out, just mention the word AWOL.
All right.
And
I'll put that in a reference.
Yeah, put that in a reference. Everybody listening can put that in a reference and tell them Kiler Davenport told you to put it in a fucking reference. But
yeah,
I'd be in this group up here. The Harley Club up here is the only Harley Club in the United States or in the world that is licensed by Harley Davidson. I'm right here with them. I'm 30 miles from them. What, producer? It's the Christian Harley Club. And they are the only Harley Club that is licensed by Harley Davidson in the world. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
And they had to pick a bunch of fucking Christians. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I really didn't mean to say that. I'm sorry. Sorry.
I have to censor that out. No, I know what you mean. I'm not against Christians, but I'm against the Christians. You know,
the religion.
It's not all Christians. I'm not against. It's hard to explain. I'm not against Christians. It's the way that it is now portrayed, and the feeling that you get.
I wrote this today. I'm against the way they carry themselves. Some of them. That's all.
That's more I think that's what I'm trying to get at to the perception.
It's just they carry themselves like they're so special and they're so club oriented. You know, you have to be in their club. You have to do as they do.
You have to show up on Sunday, and you got to sit
as they walk. You have to talk as they talk. You have to worship as they worship.
I call them cookie cutter Christians. The cookie cutter Christians that they roll out the dough, they chop it, and you have to be in that mold. And anything that's left over is nothing. You know, it's like, no, you can't live that way. I mean, you know, you can't swear, you can't do this, you can't do that. And then you see them at the bar cussing, smoking, you know, watching strippers. And then they come to church on Sunday and they're holier than thou. It's like, no.
Well, what kills me is the fact that when you're at church, you got a bunch of the smokers that go out back and smoke. Or when they go to the car, they all start lighting up a cigarette.
Yeah.
Well, to me, that's no big deal. But why can't you smoke in church?
Yeah. Exactly. They hide, you know, and then they find out they smoke.
Smoke in church. Why can't you drink a beer in church? I don't understand. What's the big deal?
Did Jesus not turn water to wine? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, did Jesus hang out with all the sinners and the prostitutes? Yes, he did.
Yeah, the lowlights.
He was down there with the lowlights, not up there with the Pharisees.
The lepers.
Yeah.
Which were totally...
He was with the dregs of society, and everybody goes, oh, if Jesus were here today, how do we know he wasn't here and you crucified him again?
Right. You might have crucified him.
Or aborted him. Or aborted him a couple times. He ain't coming back. You aborted him. You know, who knows? I'm with you on that. You know,
I'm gonna buy you a dildo tree, Glenn, so you can go fuck yourself.
I actually think I might have a dildo tree.
I'm gonna buy you a dildo tree. It's here on Facebook.
Okay.
I'm putting it on your page right now.
Cool. I'll piss people off. I love
Okay,
it.
there it is, Glenn Sutphin. There
Cool.
it comes to you right now. There's your dildo tree. So you can go.
Good. I always wanted one. My wife might like.
Man, that is something.
Don't let her see it.
But anyway.
He's talking about dildo tree, babe.
It's on Facebook, killer. Yeah. Grow your own dildo tree. So you wait until it grows, then you can go fuck yourself. I love it. Well, let's get off this thing. We're wearing this airway out. I got work to do on Facebook. I got some SEO preparation to do. We've got preparation for SEO to do until May. We've got to get the website right for SEO. I didn't realize until just recently that your website has to be prepared for SEOs. You can't just jump in there and start doing SEOs. You have to prepare your website to be able to handle SEOs.
Yep. You got to put code in and meta code, meta tag.
Words have to be a specific way.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. In a specific order, and that's why one reason why I went. I ain't got time. I ain't got time for all that. If we could stop the news and give me about a month, it ain't happening. Yeah. It ain't happening.
Once I get mine done, I'll know more about it, and then maybe by September we can get yours done.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's something to look forward to. Ladies and gentlemen, Kiler Davenport, 7:26 p.m., April the 4th, 2017, and I'm on with my co-host, Glenn Sutphin, and this is Kiler Davenport on TalkShoe.com, coming to you from Alternative Public Radio International. We will be back with you guys and girls, let's see, when will we be back? Thursday night. We'll be back Thursday night, and I'm going to have some notes Thursday night, and we're going to go over some different subjects, Glenn and I, and talk about probably 75 different subjects and hit on each one of them and see what our opinions are on them. That ought to be very, very interesting.
That sounds interesting. Interesting.
We're going to do that. So, Glenn, take care. Ladies and gentlemen, take care. And we will see you on Thursday night. This is Davenport and Sutphin. We're out of here. See you later, Glenn.
Bye.